Good morning, Napa Valley. My name is Greg Ramsey. Live from Napa. I should be dead from Napa. In 2016, I had 4 strokes. I should be dead. It took me 8 years to learn to speak. I'm coming back now, so now I have my new show to show you how to do what I did, come back from the edge. It's about health through lifestyle and diet, proper diet. And my first guest, the show's called Back from the Edge. So you can be back from the edge too. My first guest is Linda Middlesworth from Sacramento. She saved 5,000 people's lives herself through teaching them about health. So she can save you too if you listen to it. So I'll introduce her right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Middlesworth.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Greg. This is so exciting to be on this show with you. And I am so inspired by you, of course, for how you came back from the edge. You really came back from the edge. You went way to the edge before coming back. And not many people do that. And I know why you did it, though, because you decided to change your lifestyle. And when you changed your lifestyle, you were able to come back and be a part of our society again. Many people don't get that chance. They either die early or are so disabled they can't communicate at all. I even have a friend who did that. So it's amazing to watch you and your journey, and to know that you helped so many people, inspired so many people by changing your food especially and lifestyle, because without changing your food, you would not have been able to do this. And I am really inspired by that. And I know a lot of people are, because when they see where you were and where you've gotten to is amazing. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you for all you do. You inspired me. Now, for those of you who don't know, I met Linda. I saw her debut on Chef AJ's show, a TV show about health. And her name was mentioned. I looked her up and called her, and she adopted me as a friend and mentored me for 8 years. That's why I'm alive. So to Linda, I owe you a huge thank you on behalf of me and thousands of animals that you've saved too. Linda's a vegan animal rights activist too, not just health for you and me, but for the animals and the environment. She's a wonderful person. She was supposed to die 40 years ago, but she changed her own lifestyle. And today she teaches aerobics in Sacramento, and an animal rights activist, and a mentor to all those who want to be healthy themselves. So she's a wonderful source of information. So Linda, tell us more about your own problems, how you overcame them.
Okay, I was 44 years old. Now I'm 80. And when I was 44, the doctor gave me the big bad word. He said, "You have cancer." And when you get that cancer message, it is devastating. And he said, "But you are going to die of your heart disease before your cancer, because your heart disease is really terrible." I mean, I had 358 cholesterol, and I had high blood pressure. I had 55 pounds too much on me. And this is while I was teaching 25 aerobics classes per week, because I'm an aerobic instructor and a personal trainer. And I couldn't figure out how I could be so fat and so sick. I thought I was eating the correct diet, fish and chicken and yogurt and cheese and ice cream, the normal diet. I didn't eat a lot of processed food, although cheese is kind of a processed food. But I thought, how can I be this sick? I couldn't believe it. But I was so lucky, 37 years ago now, to move next door to a lady who I had just met, we were walking our dogs around the park. And I was telling her, even though I didn't know her at all, I said, I'm so scared. I'm going to die. I don't know what to do because the doctor said I'm going to die of my heart before my cancer. And I told her all the problems I had. I had diabetes, pre-diabetes. He was about ready to give me metformin. So I had that too.
Ooh.
And so she said, "Oh, that's no problem. Just get a hold of Dr. John McDougall." And I said, "Who?" And she said, "Dr. John McDougall." Well, unfortunately, he just passed away in June of this year. But he saved
my
my
hero
life.
too.
Yeah, he's my hero because he saved my life. I would not be here today because I was on deathbed. And he saved me from the stroke that Greg had. He saved me from the cancer I had. I couldn't believe it. I thought nobody can get rid of cancer, right? Well, I had read his book at the time, and in his book, there were all these people he had helped. And this one lady, she was just about maybe late 20s, she had breast cancer. And they gave her radiation and chemotherapy for a year. And then they said, "We have to give you a break. Even though the cancer's still there, we have to give you a break. So let's convene in after the summer in the fall." And she said, "Okay." And during that break, she happened to find Dr. McDougall online. Well, she followed his instructions. She not only lost her cancer, but she went from size 18 to size 4.
Wow.
She lost so much weight. And to this day, she's slim and no cancer. And that was, almost 40 years ago. So I was a true believer on the spot. I never even met the man. I just read his book and did his program. And I lost my weight. I lost my cancer. I lost my heart disease. And today I'm here as an 80-year-old, about to turn 81 in a month. And I'm teaching aerobics still because I was always teaching. And I was at my fattest when I was teaching 25 classes a week. Now I don't teach so many classes because of COVID knocked me back, but they don't have that many classes now. But I'm still teaching. I taught this morning. I taught my kickboxing step class and weight training. And I'm very, very strong. I'm stronger than some of my 30-year-olds. And I love life. I've never felt better in my life. I am very active in animal rights because I believe no animal should be harmed for any reason. There's no reason to harm animals. So I'm what we call a vegan, which means do no harm. And it doesn't mean a diet. It means do no harm. So by eating no animals, I'm also doing no harm. So I'd like people to know the difference. A lot of people think vegan means diet. It isn't. It means do no harm. So when people tell me I could never be vegan, I say to them, "Oh, I said that same thing almost 37 years ago now." And then I found out about how to help myself get better. And then I not only help myself, but I'm helping the animals and the earth because we have climate change. It's also big causes from animal agriculture with methane gas, much more than transportation in the world. So anyway, I followed his advice. I lost the weight. I feel great and I couldn't be happier. And now I'm also a coach too to help other people. I have a vegan mentor business, and it is really wonderful to watch people get well. I have one lady who lost 130 pounds. I have one lady who came to my aerobics class to lose weight. And I said, "You're not going to lose weight here." And she said, "What do you mean? I'm here to lose weight." I said, "Talk to me after class. You're going to get stronger in my class and you'll be fitter, but you're not going to take off the extra weight."
Now,
So
Linda,
Mhm.
tell our viewers how people would contact you for help with their diet.
Oh, just go to my website, Vegan Mentor.
Oh, is that easy, huh? Easy cheesy.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
you can contact me through that. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And anyway, so this lady who wanted to lose weight in my aerobics class, I said, talk to me after. So she came up after. She said, I don't get it. What do I need to do? I told her you have to change to a plant exclusive diet. Oh my God, she said, I don't think I can do that. Well, she went to her doctor, and fortunately, her doctor knew about this. He knew about a plant diet because he had had one other patient do it. And he said, you do it. You follow that lady. You follow her. And so she did. And within 5-6 weeks, she had no more diabetes after having metformin for 27 years. And that was 10 years ago. She still has no diabetes, just like I have no diabetes either.
Wow.
So it is just amazing what food choices can do for you when you make the right food choices of a lot of carbohydrates, by the way, but they're complex carbohydrates, not donuts, but complex carbohydrates. Big difference. Like what we need to eat for energy. So I have a lot of energy and I get it from my carbs. Why do you think marathon runners eat pasta before they go on their run? Because that's your energy source. Carbohydrates are not a bad thing. Just don't eat processed carbohydrates like pretzels and cookies and cakes. We eat whole food cookies and cakes now. But anyway, that's a whole story. But so eat whole foods, and the starch you should be eating are things like potatoes and beans and peas and corn and lentils and quinoa, all your whole grains. That's your starch source. And when you eat that, you feel full and good. And which is nice about eating so much starch. I never count calories. I just eat until I'm full. And I eat and eat and eat. And if I'm full, I stop. But I can eat all day long and I never gain a pound because I'm eating the right food for the human being.
Linda, people want to know, where do you get your protein?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. There's protein in every single plant food, some more than some less, but every plant food has protein. And your highest forms of protein will come in things like beans and rice together, potatoes, quinoa, whole grains have protein, so you get, but everything, even broccoli has protein. In fact, broccoli has more protein than beef.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when people think they can't get, I thought that too, because I was a personal trainer way back then too. And I said, oh gosh, how am I going to get my protein? I run marathon. I was running marathons too back then. And but I thought, how am I going to get my protein? And it was so scary. Well, I have muscles galore. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm very strong.
Wow, you're buffed, kid.
And some of the strongest people in the world eat like me. Some of the bodybuilders, and by the way, a lot of the Olympic athletes who win everything, they eat like me. Yeah. In fact, Patrick Boumomian, I can't pronounce his name, in Germany, he's the strongest man in Germany. He has muscles this big on arms and legs. Anyway, he can carry the equivalent of a Chevy for 6 feet. He eats nothing but plants like me. And so it's really, I can show millions of examples of very strong men and women both who are fit as a fiddle. They're strong as can be, and they don't need. See, what happens is the meat, dairy, and egg industry are controlling our media, our government. In fact, they cover up a lot of stuff that's going on, like the bird flu, but they cover it up so that you have no idea that we can just eat plants and be fine. In fact, be better, because a human body is meant to eat plants. Our chewing is not like an animal. We can move our jaw back and forth, where a carnivore can only up and down. Plus, animals have very short intestines. We have really long ones. And then the meat and the cheese and whatever gets stuck in the colon, and then you get colon cancer. Yeah, it stays in there too long because we're not designed. We're not designed for eating animals. We're designed for eating plants. And we have learned and been brainwashed to eat it since birth. I mean, I even tried to I mean, I brainwashed my own children. To this day, they don't believe me. Only one of them believes me that they don't need to eat meat because I brainwashed them so well from children. I even had the Gerber baby food with fish in it and tried to shove it down my baby daughter mouth. She hated it. And I just made her eat it. I said, you need your protein. Who knew? I didn't know. And most of us aren't born with this information. And my dad died of a heart attack at 62 right after the Sunday roast dinner in the kitchen with me.
Wow.
And so he just had one massive heart attack and that was it. And people are dying early in this country, earlier and earlier. And our number one cause is heart disease.
Yeah,
And
I heard that sudden death is the first sign of heart disease many times. The first sign of sudden death.
And if anybody wants to know about heart disease, I highly recommend this one doctor who I've had as a speaker here in Sacramento. His name is Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. And the book is called Reversing Heart Disease. And he reverses everybody's heart disease if you follow him. Because like he did for me, I mean, I did it with McDougall and him, and I found out what things you can eat and what things you can't eat to help your heart. So people say, okay, what's wrong with dairy? Well, dairy is one of the most dangerous of all the products, animal products.
Yeah, I heard that joke. Dairy's scary.
Yeah, and there's a video on that called that too. But anyway, dairy is scary because it is not meant for the human, it's meant for a baby cow. And when a baby cow gets the milk, it gets the IGF growth hormone that it needs. That doesn't belong in a human, it only belongs in the baby calf. And when she or he gets mama's milk, it makes a baby calf grow from 90 pounds to 1,000 pounds in a year. And that hormone, when we eat it in our cheese and milk and yogurt and ice cream, actually changes our DNA. And I'm sure that's why I had cancer, because I ate so much dairy. Every day I ate dairy. And I couldn't, and it's very highly addictive. It's like an opiate. It has an opiate effect. Why does it have an opiate effect? It's meant to make the baby cow not wander off and come back to mama. Well, we're not baby cows. And why are we eating from another species? We're supposed to drink mother's milk until about 2 years old and then give it up. We're not supposed to be drinking from a mother cow. Doesn't that look silly when you think about it? If you saw a cow in the pasture and you wanted a glass of milk, you jump over the fence and start drinking from her? Doesn't make sense. So, yeah, it is really scary that people think dairy is good for bones. I thought that too. We all think you need calcium for your bones, but here's the truth of the matter, and I can give you the scientific research on anything I'm saying here, but dairy actually causes your bones to have less calcium. Why? Because it is an acidic, and we're calcium. And so when you put the acidic dairy in your mouth, what it does is leach the calcium from our bones. That's why more people are having osteoporosis than at any other time, because we are drinking and eating so much dairy. So if you want the science on that, there's great science. And one of my other favorite doctors is Dr. T. Colin Campbell from Cornell University. He has a book called The China Study. And in that book, you will find out that dairy is, of all the animal products, dairy is your number one most powerful source for cancer. That's why I had cancer. I ate so much dairy. I couldn't stop it. And when somebody told me almost 40 years ago that I should give up my dairy, I said, listen, don't you tell me that. Because I was so upset, because I was so addicted. It's like a cigarette smoker or an alcoholic. I didn't want to give it up. And I almost slugged her. And I said, I'll give up my meat, but don't you dare tell me to give up my dairy.
I need my cheese.
I need my cheese. I got to have it. I mean, like I said, I would walk by the refrigerator and take out a carton of ice cream and eat the whole thing. And it made me feel good. Opiates were set off, the opiate addiction. Dr. Neil Bernard, my other favorite doctor in the world, who's my boss, I teach under him cancer classes and diabetes classes at local colleges around here. And he said, dairy is like crack. It's that addictive, and people have no idea why they can't give it up. But that's why, like me, I was addicted, and it's not easy to give up. It's like an alcoholic or a cigarette smoker. You don't want to give it up. So I help people with that when I coach. All animal protein, remember this. When you get your cancer, I want you to remember this. All animal protein causes cancer, but dairy's number one for it. A lot of people think it's big, but you can get cancer from chicken, fish, turkey. Yeah.
I owe you one more thank you, too, because I just learned I had that autoimmune disease, a rare autoimmune disease. And the doctor said I'd be dead if I wasn't vegan. I'd already be dead. That's what caused my strokes, too.
Yeah. No, that's what causes everybody's strokes, is the food they're eating. It's not in your genetics. In fact, if you even have like the BRCA gene for breast cancer, do you know you can override that gene with your lifestyle, with your food choices? It's all about the food. And when you learn how to do it, it's not that hard. Believe me, I can help you with that.
You know what's ironic about this whole lifestyle? It's God's biblical. In the Bible, God used Daniel to outperform the king's men in Nebuchadnezzar in Bible days through natural diet. It's amazing. It's God's will.
And isn't there a saying, thou shalt not kill?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thou shalt not kill. Why are we killing all these little baby animals, the little pigs? I go and give them
billions.
I give them water before they're going to slaughter in these big, massive trucks that come to town. And a bunch of activists and myself go give them water for their last. They didn't have water or food for 3 days in like 110, 25 degrees heat. And we give them some water, and they're so thirsty and so thankful. And they're just little baby. They're only 6 months old. And pigs are, by the way, as smart as a 3-year-old child. So happy, all these little piggies, so sweet, so kind, and so innocent. And we are killing them for no reason, for bacon.
Well, the cruelty too, before they die.
Cruelty. Yeah, not just the slaughterhouse is cruel. The way they farm them and put them together and slam the mother pig is in little stalls. She can't turn around, and she has to be kept pregnant all the time and give birth all the time to get more pigs out for more bacon. And she can't even stand up in between. Can you imagine being pregnant your whole life and then they kill you?
Yeah,
and you can't stand up or turn around in your
that whole thing's ungodly.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is not what anybody should be doing. And we need to all learn to have compassion for all the species so that we don't hurt them. Sometimes it's impossible not to hurt them. Like when I drive my car, I probably hit a few gnats or something, but I try with all my heart to be vegan. And vegan means do no harm. So, I choose products like my glue or my soap or anything I buy to be a vegan product or to be a plant-only product. And a lot of the food additives that we have in our processed food are not vegan as well. The words natural flavors, that word, doesn't it sound like it's natural and healthy?
Oh, that's shocking. Amazing.
It's shocking. They have even animal products in there, and they call it natural flavors. Or they have erythritol in there, which I've done studies with Dr. T. Colin Campbell. He's given me studies on erythritol. It is a cancer-causing agent, and it's in natural flavors. So whenever you see natural flavors, do not buy that package. Try to eat whole foods as they came from nature That's what we try to tell people.
Oh, Linda, let me ask you 2 questions in closing. One, will you come back to be my guest again?
Oh, I'd love it.
I love to tell people more and more.
I would love to, because I could talk forever, and it's my purpose in life.
Also, how do people reach you?
Yeah, well, I have a website. You can reach me, Vegan Mentor.
And you're in Sacramento?
Yeah, but I talk to people around the world. I help people all over the world.
Amazing. I'll be calling you to be my guest again. You have much more to say that I'm sure people will want to hear.
Thank you. I love being here with you, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Millsworth from Sacramento.